Hello, my name is Andrew Pang. Welcome to another edition of CMS Forex News. Today is Tuesday, September 30th, 2008. Japanese household spending was down a sharp 4% in August compared to a year ago, surprising expectations on the downside. It was the fourth straight month that spending was down. The unemployment rate, meanwhile, rose to 4.2% from 4% in July, higher than expected. Japanese industrial production for August showed a sharp 3.5% decrease, which was a larger fall than expected. Companies are cutting output as exports decline in the face of a global slowdown. The manufacturing PMI was down to 44.3, which was the sixth straight month that manufacturing activity was below the 50 boom-bust level. The Aussie-yen pair fell sharply yesterday, along with other carry trade pairs, plunging from its level near 89 to test 82 last evening. That's a 700 pip difference. From there, it managed to recover to the 85 level prior to the New York Open, where it dipped down again. In the UK, the final version of second quarter GDP confirmed flat growth for the quarter and a growth of 1.5% compared to a year ago. That's the weakest annual pace since 1992, though it's slightly higher than the revised estimate of 1.4%. In the Eurozone, consumer inflation is expected to slow in September, according to the flash estimate. CPI is expected to be 3.6% compared to August's 3.8%. That reinforces the perception that inflation peaked at 4% in July. The number of German workers that were unemployed in August fell by 29,000, which was a larger drop than forecast. It kept the unemployment rate at 7.6%, a 16-year low. The euro-pound pair, after strengthening in yesterday's session, fell sharply in the hours surrounding the New York Open. The euro was pressured by further bailouts on the continent as France and Belgium led a state-backed rescue of Dexia SA. In the U.S., housing prices in U.S. metropolitan areas continue to see declines. The 20-city composite was down 16.3% on the year as prices fell 0.9% on the month. The pace of decline seems to be moderating, but the current figures do not indicate a bottom. The Chicago PMI fell to 56.7 in September compared to the 57.9 seen in August. Still, the headline figure was much stronger than expectations. U.S. consumer confidence edged higher again in September after a modest bounce in August. The present situation index fell lower, but future expectations for the economy grew. Note that the survey was taken before the bailout plan was proposed. The euro-dollar pair continued its descent from yesterday, falling to test 1.40 in today's session. That was almost a 400 pip drop from today's open. Though the credit crisis originated in the U.S., the European continent is feeling its effects, and therefore the dollar is actually improving against its main rival. After yesterday's sharp drop in the dollar-yen pair, today saw a reversal of fortunes. The pair climbed almost 300 pips from its low near 103.50 to trade near yesterday's open near 106. U.S. stocks jumped today as it became clear that some form of congressional plan to shore up the U.S. financial system will pass. The Dow was up 400 points as of 2:30 p.m. Eastern, and the Nasdaq and S&P were up around 4%. Canadian GDP rose 0.7% on the month of July, which handily beat forecasts of a 0.2% increase. Gains were led by increased energy production, manufacturing, wholesale trade, and the financial sector. Canadian PPI in August, the price indexes for manufactured goods and raw materials declined 0.2% and 7.7% respectively from July. The strong decrease in prices for petroleum products ends an uninterrupted monthly rise in the PPI going back to the end of 2007. The US dollar-Canadian dollar, after being confined to a tight range the last 5 sessions, showed a volatile move today following the New York Open as the pair surged ahead to 1.0640 from its open near 1.0450, a move of 200 pips. Coming up tonight, we get the Tankan survey out of Japan. Overnight, Germany posts retail sales, and the UK and the Eurozone review manufacturing PMI. Tomorrow, the US will release its ADP employment change, its ISM manufacturing index, and data on construction spending. And that wraps it up for the day in Forex News. Join us again tomorrow right here at cmsfx.com.